Hey y'all, welcome or welcome back. I'm Leah, and on this channel we are all about living the chic life, mentally, physically, financially, fashionably. And today we are addressing that next semester bug. I know for me, every semester I set out goals and I set out a plan on how I'm going to tackle the next semester. So I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to tackle that next semester. Let's get started. Okay, so let's get right into it. So tip number 1 is to evaluate your last semester. For many people, when they start off with a goal for the next semester, they start with just the goal. And so what I'm going to ask you all to do is to evaluate your last semester and then plan your goal based off things that may have happened from your last semester. When I was in high school, I had a teacher who would have us do these fish diagrams anytime we would fail a quiz or fail a test or made a bad grade. We would do these fish diagrams, and on the fish diagram we would put all of the circumstances that aided in us failing that test, failing that quiz, or making that bad grade on that assignment. And so from there, she would have us make our plan. So thank you to my teacher for that. That's how I do all of my goal setting now. Anytime that I'm starting something new, I base it off of my previous experiences. And I feel like for many people, they just set goals and they don't ever evaluate any circumstances or behaviors from their last semester. And I feel like that is what sometimes makes us fail our goals, because we don't ever evaluate what was the problem to begin with and why we have never achieved the goal. So I'm gonna ask you guys to set a goal, but make it smart. Now, before you guys try to get on my head, I know many of you guys know what SMART goals are, but I'm gonna ask you to set your SMART goal based off your failure and not just the goal. So the way to do that is to ask yourself who, what, when, where, and why. So, for example, if you failed a class, or if you gained weight, or you lost a job, the first thing you need to ask yourself is who is responsible? Is it you? I personally always put myself at the front of anything as far as being responsible. But there may be other people in your life that also aided in this circumstance. So is it your spouse? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Then we're gonna go to the what. What happened? Did you miss the assignment because you forgot? Did you miss the assignment because you didn't have time? And then when did it happen? I'm going to ask you to really look at a timeline of your semester. And one of the best ways to do this is to pull out your old planner and look and see when you stopped using it. Look and see what month it was. Think about what breaks you may have been on or what events may correlate with that month. Was it a breakup? Is that why you weren't able to focus? Is that when you became inconsistent in your studies? Was it when you got that second or third job? Is that when you saw a decrease in your studies? I feel like a lot of times we don't ever evaluate our timeline. We have to really look at those things and see what was happening in our lives that may have influenced the circumstance. And the where. So the where really isn't that much physical when we are applying it to this circumstance. It's more so, where were you mentally when you started to see that downfall or when your circumstances started going bad? And then the why is when you're going to kind of sum it up all together. So you're going to take that who and that what and that when, and then you're going to make your why. So it would be something like, I failed my test because I wasn't mentally focused when I was studying. The why is going to be when you encompass everything all together. And then from there, that is when you're going to set your SMART goal based off your why. And so you really have to know why you're setting a goal. You can't just set a goal and say, this is the goal. Why do you want to do that? How are you going to do that? Who's going to be responsible for that goal? Are you mentally prepared this time? If you're not, how are you going to get there? And set that specific goal. So if it was that you were studying but you weren't necessarily focused because you had a third job, what are you going to do about that? Set a SMART goal. I'm going to study every Thursday from this time to this time, and I'm not going to work. I'm not going to accept any phone calls. I'm not going to go out, because this is the time that I set apart. So now that we have our SMART goal and we've made that SMART goal based off our evaluation, I want to give you 4 more tips that are going to help support that goal. So you have to plan ahead. So this may seem like, duh, Leah, of course I have to plan ahead, but it is a lot easier said than done. So I know for many people we get these planners, but if you don't physically write in your planner and you aren't using it, figure out another way. Get an online planner, use Google Calendars, use your phone, use your reminders, use your notes. Figure out a way that is going to help you consistently plan. I know for me, when I set out a time block for planning and nothing else, that is when I get the most done. Another way that you can plan ahead for your assignments is to put all of your assignments on one to-do list. And what I'm saying by that is that if you know that you're taking 5 classes or 3 classes and it's hard for you to manage all of those classes because you feel like you're all over the place, put them all on one list. Make it easier for you. Simplify the situation. I suggest really putting it on your phone. That way you can change it and that way you always have it. Next, you need to humble yourself. You can't do it all. You can, maybe for you, you cannot handle having 3 jobs, taking this many classes, taking this many science classes. You have to humble yourself and know what you can handle. Do not base your standards based off the timeline when you want to graduate. Do not base your standards based off what your friends are doing. Do what's best for you. Humble yourself and manage it. And like, it's not really cool when you're a jack of all trades but you're good at nothing. You see what I'm saying? So manage it so that you can be good at what you're doing. And last but not least, you have to plan the unplanned. And this is something that I was so terrible at doing when I was in undergrad, was planning those things, those little things that we think don't really matter, like those meetings or those lunches. Those things need to be planned because they can really throw you off if you plan on doing something that you have set for your goal. You also have to plan to crash. So if you're always go, 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 you're gonna crash in an inefficient way. It's gonna be one of those long, hard crashes when you really need to be doing it, when it's time for you to really be working, but you're exhausted. You have literally overworked yourself. So plan for that. I also encourage you guys to set benchmarks on when you may need to reevaluate your situation. I mean, we never know what may happen in your life. So some benchmarks for reevaluation will really help you stay on track. So that is pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you really liked this video. If you like this one, you're gonna love my next series that I have coming up all January, all about goal setting. If you're in the spirit to refresh, I'm gonna have some great videos coming for you, all about goal setting, all about branding, all about intentional living. I'm also gonna be doing some vlog style so that you guys can see my journey. So make sure you go ahead and like this video, and don't forget to subscribe so that you do not miss this goal setting series that I have coming in January. You do not want to miss it. So join the fam as we walk this journey together. Until next time, guys. Bye. And that's all, folks.